Okay. Now we just wait for people. I was a little late getting this set up this week, so.
Okay.
But most people know we're on Tuesday night.
Yeah, most people do know that we're on Tuesday night. So.
Okay, so we're going to do the question and answer thing.
Oh, very well. You're asking questions and I'm answering them.
Yeah. Actually, what was really neat is Ashley and I were watching a program that I actually worked on the case. And it's like, whoa. So I'm not mentioned or anything, but it was actually neat to see that. Hey, Faye. I actually totally forgot about it. So, but other than that, snow's melting.
Yes, it is. Which is nice.
Yeah. For those of you who work outside.
Yes, for those of us who are outside right now.
So, I'm okay because it's inside the house. Not the snow, the working.
Remind me to talk to you about Ukiuit tomorrow.
About what?
The next trip to Ukiuit.
Really?
Yeah, we have another one coming up soon.
Hopefully not too soon.
Well, not next week.
Because I can only handle so many times sleeping on your couch, Sean. So.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. Might be a slow night. But that's okay. I still can do question and answer tonight.
Yeah.
People can always watch it afterwards.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, let's get started. So as people know, Sean and I are brother and sister. And on Wednesday, you listen to Penelope explain how she, the who, what, where, and when of her gifts. And so, and how. And so tonight we're going to do that with Sean as well. And we're going to start with Sean. Do a little introduction, not that you haven't done that before, and maybe explain when you first were cognitive of your gift.
Well, the when part is easy. I always have been, as far back as I can remember.
How far would you say that is?
3-4 years old.
Okay, so we all have that in common.
It seemed normal to me. So I actually didn't find out it wasn't normal until like I was 10 or 11. So, it just seemed normal to me. And yeah, I went through a period of time where I denied it and fought against it and everything. But, you just can't fight against what is, right?
Okay.
I mainly, in the last few years, have been, last probably 15 years, been using my abilities more to do investigation work.
Don't jump ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, ask questions then, because you know me, so I'm short answers.
How did you first recognize that it was different?
How did I first recognize it was
Think of
different?
your first experience seeing.
I don't know, when I was talking to other kids about it, and I just need to check this because I'm on call. Oh. So, I was sharing it with other kids and got ridiculed by them and laughed at and whatnot. And I started realizing that not everybody has this gift, or at that time. I have a different belief now. I believe that everybody has the ability to have this gift. It's a choice. But, it was it runs in our family, and
So, can you remember the first thing you ever saw that at the young age? Or what
well,
you
there was several things. You know, there was the guy that used to hang out in the yard that I'd used to sit and talk with, and I was only like 3 or 4 years old then. When I was 3 years old, I had an encounter with a cougar in the bush, and the cougar and I just sat and talked. I just thought that was normal, that you could talk to spirits and animals, and I still, it is normal now for me. So,
Well, yeah, for the rest of us, I think it's normal too. As you grew older, like you have stayed the same thing I did, we fought against it, and then eventually we sort of realized you can't outrun what's inside of you, correct?
well, that's not entirely true. You can shut it off and block it out, and it's not easy, but it can be done. I did it for a few years. However, when you start seeking wisdom and knowledge and whatnot, that's just part of what comes with it, right?
Yep.
And
Okay.
I went through a period of years where it really bothered me to have so many entities and spirits and everything around, and some of them with what at the time seemed very malicious intent. And it wasn't until I got told about Tea Party that everything really settled. So,
Tea
and
parties?
yes, a Tea Party.
With who?
Yeah, if you have a problem with a spirit with ill intent, invite them for tea. The only power they have against you is the power that you give them.
True.
So
Okay.
when I quit giving them my power, they quit bothering me.
So then,
Now I have a lot of spirits that want to talk to me on a daily basis.
okay. My understanding is that now you use it also in different ways, not just doing this show, or I'm not even sure you do readings, but you use it different, correct?
I do. I'm very fussy and choosy about who I do readings for, but mostly over the last 10, 15 years, I've been doing investigative work with it, for both living and dead. And it's very fascinating, very rewarding. And about 18 months ago, became a place where I had to take a step back and sort out a moral issue around it. Because though there are no real rules, I have my own rules that I use. And, my rules are that it has to be a win-win situation. I don't pry where I'm not invited. And this brought up this situation turned out to be one where the only real winner in it would have been me. And I just can't do that.
Okay.
My moral compass doesn't allow for that.
All right. Now, when you're listening or seeing or feeling, or can you explain to people what you use to do that? Like you hear them, you see them, you smell, that type of thing, which is the audience.
Yes, I actually do all those things. I can smell them sometimes. If they have companions with them, like animals and whatnot, I definitely smell the animals. I hear them, and on a lot of times I see them. I have a little memory glitch with names, so though some of them do tell me their names, my mind doesn't catch names very well. So I kind of don't always catch on to their names, and that's why I don't use names. They do if I'm focused on a particular individual when I'm doing investigative work, I'll focus on a particular individual or an object or something, and that the essence of that person or the spirit of that person, whatever you want to say, will come and talk to me and give me clear and direct answers.
Okay,
Little harder with the living than the dead, because
True.
sometimes the living spirits, it kind of works a little different on the living spirits, as they don't necessarily have to be so forthcoming with their information. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to do.
Okay, would you be able to give them an example of something like Penelope talked about a dream she had, I believe it was, where a spirit came through and told her to be cautious. Can you give an example of maybe communicating or a funny event that happened?
I don't really get a lot of funny events that happen.
I'll tell you what, I'll lend you a couple.
Thanks. I do have a rather large Buddha type guy who hangs out in my yard, which is interesting because I have a ward around my yard, which only allows those with permission in, except this Buddha kind of overrides that. And I'm fine because he's beautiful and comfortable and huge. But
okay.
I've had so many different events happen. I had 72 angels show up in my living room one night. That was really fantastic. And I was told very clearly that they were there and have been there ever since to help and assist me, and they have a lot.
Okay.
When it comes to the investigative work, there was, I won't go give names or a lot of detail, but there was a young man, the case of a young man presented to me last year. And within seconds of seeing his photograph, I actually seen every event around his demise. I seen the people involved. I seen where it happened, what happened, the events leading up to it. So it was like watching a full 2-hour movie in about 2 seconds, and found things that when and at that point the body hadn't recovered. The person was still considered a missing person. And when I finally did convince local law enforcement people that I was straight up and honest, they were quite shocked about the amount of detail that I had around this particular event. And the guy's spirit wouldn't let me alone. As soon as I'd leave the yard, he'd get in the truck. And he's like, "You're just going to deal with me." And I'm like, "Well, no, I don't, necessarily want to deal with me." He said, "No, you're dealing with me." And so it was an interesting event.
It can be. And it is difficult. Not so much convincing, and not proving to a police officer that you're legit, but it is difficult doing it.
Well, the thing is that because of the rules I have imposed on myself, so I don't pry. Like people say, "Well, can you read minds?" I go, "You want to know something? Yes, I can read your mind. Do I? No." Because that's an invasive act, and I don't believe in invasive acts. That's not what I've been given this gift for. So
I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be invasive. But then I can think back to a time that I was in a bar after doing a show, and this guy comes up to me and he says, "Just show me what you can do." Looked down, told him he had a 3-legged dog called Charlie and he's cheating on his wife. Pulls his hand back and he says, "My wife sent you out to find out this information, right?" And I went, "Buddy, I don't even know you." So, okay, maybe guilty of not, I wasn't really looking in his hands, but he asked.
Well, That's why I'm very careful about touching people, because when I touch somebody physically, it leaves an imprint.
Yep. That's
And
why I don't touch.
yeah, so I'm very cautious about who I touch and how I touch them. A handshake is one thing. I can handshake most people and get a very mild imprint, but for somebody to reach out and do that familiar touch on my arm, or for someone to give me a hug, yeah, um, it can leave a lot of information behind.
It can.
And like I said, it's not how I prefer to use my gift. I will, but with the law enforcement officer in this conversation, I actually had to finally say to him, "Look, have you ever seen me before?" He goes, "No." I said, "Okay, so this is your wife's name. These are your two kids. This is where they go to school. This is where your wife goes shopping. This is what days of the week she goes to the gym." And finally he went, "Oh, okay." So it's been very interesting. Did you
Okay.
freeze? Oh, there you go. You're moving a little bit.
So, no, I didn't freeze. I'm just listening. Well, then I guess, Sean, we could get started and do some cards for people. So we'll say good evening to Faye, Tracy, Lily. Sandra, I know you're on there, but we can't see you. Liam, Heather, Amanda, Cheyenne, and Kathy. And Margaret as well. Lily wrote a little comment. She said, I have a woman here. I've known this for a long time. One time I was away and my foster son slept in my bed instead of spare room. And he woke up middle of the night to her on the bench seat in my room screaming towards him. I think it's my mom's grandmother on my grandma Lily's side. And, I don't suppose her name's Margaret. And not because Margaret's name's up there, but maybe an M sign, like M, Margaret, Mary, Marie, Martha, Lily. Just out of curiosity, whether or not that name fits in there, the M. Well, Sean and I both said it. If there's someone you don't want in your house, you can actually ask them to leave. And it's just a very affirmative, it's time for you to go now. Just like I said, don't repeat their name for 24 hours, because if you do, you're just invoking them back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pick anything?
And I would ask if her name was Millie.
Is what?
That's the name. Is Millie. That's the name that came up.
That's the Millie. So let's start with Faye.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to back up. I think my speakers too. It's down low, but okay. So Faye, I have the 9 of Cups. I'm using this little deck.
You're really blurry tonight, eh?
No, you are. You were at one point. You're not now.
Oh, you still are.
It's probably everyone around me.
Okay.
Needed a little extra help this week. So, Faye, this is the 8 of Cups. And you notice how the cats are looking down, 9. 9 of Coins. I'll get it right yet. Anyways, they're looking down into the coin as though to say, what are we going to do with this? And they have all these little dishes, and it makes me think of food too in some aspects. Around them, yet they're that big one as though they expect something plunked into it. And it makes me think again of rearranging, managing, reconnecting with the value of money. But it's weird because this isn't money as the kind you go like this. This is more something that has a material sense to you, but is also connected to, what's that word? It's a keepsake that only is valuable to you. And it's circular, so it could be ring, necklace, earrings. It could be a bowl, a plate. Like I have a bowl from my Uncle Dave. Okay, and for me, that's a keepsake. That's something I'm going to hold on for a very long time. Okay, Sean.
Okay, I was presented with Follow the Leader for you. And I'm getting a very clear message from a gentleman there, and he's saying, let go of the reins and just follow. If you'll just let this person's guidance steer you in the direction that you need to go, it will take you on the much easier road. He's saying, hey, you want to take the gravel road with the potholes and the mud puddles and whatnot, go ahead. But if you just accept the guidance that you're being given, it's a more paved path to where you want to go.
Okay. So I totally stand corrected. That was the 9 of Cups. I was right the first time. Just forget me. I'm having one of those good days. Okay. I have no idea what this one is, but it's cute. Now, it could be a money card, Tracy. I have no idea. All I know is this is about having fun. It's like watching the cats bat around one of those food balls. I actually know what that is. The food ball, and little bits come out and they're able to eat. And this is about getting exercise as well, Tracy. So, something you can do in your living room. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money, a couple of soup cans, and you do a little workout. But be careful as you're doing it and make sure you stretch at the end of it so you are not pulling anything.
And I was presented with the magic prayer card for you.
Oh, nice hair.
And as you can see, her head's back, her eyes are closed, and there's just magical energy around her. And I'm really getting the clear message that this is a time to just say a prayer of gratitude for everything that you're being given, that this is a time when there's lots of abundance for you, and just to be grateful.
Okay, Lily, how are you? I'm hearing someone in my head singing Ring Around the Rosies. And it also makes me think, sit back, relax, put your fishing rod out there. There's something you're fishing for. And if you're really careful, you're patient, you're not rushing the line once it makes that snag, that whatever it is you're after, it's going to come towards you. And like I've said before, patience is a virtue. I know I wasn't born with it and I'm still working at it, but they're saying to take your time, that whatever it is you're after, it's going to strike that line on the end of the fish pole and you're going to eventually, slowly reel it in.
And Lily, I was actually presented with 2 cards for you. And interestingly enough, the first one is Stuck in the Mud, and the second one is Listening, and they're both elephants. And I'm getting a pretty clear message that if you're feeling stuck in the mud right now, it's because you're not listening. And they say that elephants never forget. But this would be a good time to forget about whatever is binding you where you are, and just to listen to the advice and the music that's leading you in a new direction. And just let it lead you. It's all going to work out just fine.
Well, speaking of stuck in the mud, Sean's puppy, Daisy, got a really bad owie this weekend. And
while I was away,
I am busy walking her around the yard on the leash to try to keep her dry as possible in the snow. And apparently the dogs had dug a hole in Sean's yard and I fell into it and my shoe got stuck in it. Now, I looked today and there's a big hole there, Sean.
Yep, there is.
Want to bury.
It doesn't make any point. Every time I fill it back in, they dig it back up.
Okay, so next is Sandra. Sandra, I picked Oh, this is a stretch card. This is about maybe reaching beyond the limitation you set for yourself. And it's showing that you're doing it, and it looks like the cat's actually standing on his paws. And so maybe what they're saying too is not only can you stretch, but you're able to stand and stretch without tipping over, Sandra. And to me, this really makes me think of reaching beyond the limitations that you've set for yourself, because there's endless possibilities for you, and there's a nice warm glow going with it.
And I was presented with the movement card for you. And as you can see, it's a life in motion. And that's really the message I'm being given, is that this is a great time to get in motion on a new project or a new adventure, or if you've been thinking about moving, this is the time to create that movement. This is the time when it'll be most successful for you.
Well, next is Liam. Hello, Liam. Liam.
Good afternoon, my Irish friend.
I picked the Magician. And this says you're going to literally make something magical. And it could be that you're putting together a trip, you're doing a surprise. So, sorry if I blew it. But anyways, this is something you're doing magical. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like there's a little drinking attached to it and a little food. And this could be, too, someone having a wedding that you're going to attend.
You're throwing me a party? Oh, how nice. Well, I was presented with the Metamorphosis card for you. And as you can see, it's a time of change for everything. It's a time to be changing from that one state of being to the next. And I really do see that for you, is that this is a time of changing your spiritual being, which will allow you to become a new physical being.
Okay, so Heather is next. Hello, Heather, and you're right. Happy Tuesday. Tomorrow's Hump Wednesday. Haha, we're halfway down the hill. Anyways,
that's only for you people who don't work 7 days a week.
I picked this nice little card, and this is about making sure you're watching your diet, you're eating the proper food, not fool, and you're getting your omega-3 oils, whether that is through the fish or whether there's a brand out there that's done that is plant-based. And so making sure you watch your diet, getting your sleep, and also someone by the name of Robert's going to be in touch. Okay.
I was presented with the commitment card for you, and the moment I turned this card over, the band struck up, and the band was playing and still is playing, going to the chapel, and we're going to get married. So someone in your life is either about to be proposed to or recently was proposed to, and there's a marriage coming up.
All right. Amanda, this is the 9 of coins. And this is, think of like, where you're taking a ball of yarn and you're pulling it towards you, maybe to like a skein of yarn, and you're making a ball out of it. But this is pulling money towards you. And it's literally like you see the money and you're pulling it towards you to increase the wealth inside your home. It's also communication. That sort of redhead lady is going to be talking to you. And if she does talk to you about investing money, unless she's an actual investor and you know her and you've known her for a while or know about her because someone has told you about it, I'm going to say be careful investing your money in the red-headed lady. That's Amanda.
And I was presented with the deep freeze card for you. And I'm going to emphasize D'Arcy's message for you. I was told very clearly when I turned this card over that you need to watch your pennies. Not that you're going to be in a financial crisis, but that whatever's coming up in the next week or 2 weeks as supposedly a financial windfall, or you invest in it and it'll be a financial windfall. It's not going to. Like D'Arcy said, if you don't know who you're investing with, I wouldn't invest with them right now.
Yeah. Cheyenne, I pulled the Hangman. And this is a cat who doesn't need to be rescued because, you know, he's going to land on his feet anyways when he falls out of the tree. But for the time being, he's stopping, hanging upside down, and looking at his world in a different perspective. And I feel that's what they're saying to you. Stop, stand on your head, hang upside down, but look at the world in a different perspective. Don't just use the same glasses, colored, rose-tinted glasses you've always worn. Look at it differently, because I think there are some surprises coming towards you. And if you can't see beyond what's in front of you, then you're going to miss the outer circles.
And I was presented with the flying card for you. And I was told very clearly that you're flying high and this is a good time to get grounded. A really good time to get grounded to the earth and grounded to your home and just really get your feet on the ground.
All right, so Kathy's next. Kathy, I picked the Ace of Pentacles. And normally this is new starts, new beginnings, but this one says if you dish it out, you have to accept the pill that's given back to you. So I'm going to tell you to be careful of what you're saying to someone, because this lady has claws, and I think she's going to turn around and say back to you. And so be careful, okay? There's someone here who you're going to talk to, and she's really a little catty, and you need to be careful of your choice of words. Think before you speak this time. Now, the other thing, too, is I know you have a sister, and I don't think she's taken the medicine that's been given to her. So if you could check in on her, that would be grateful.
And I was presented with Into the Unknown for you. And that's really the message that I'm being given for you this evening, is that this is a time where you're going to move into the unknown and the unfamiliar, and just know that you are safe and that you are guided.
Okay, so next is Margaret. Margaret, I picked the Page of Swords. And this is someone who's telling you, I can do this. I can do this on my own. Don't you worry about me. I know what I'm doing. And they seem to be walking upright and everything, Margaret. So I would think that they are old enough to make choices. But I will not at all be surprised if they turn around and say, okay, Mom, what should I do now? And at that point, please don't say to them, well, you said I could do this on my own, so why are you asking me? I'm saying if they're asking, even if they thought they could do it on their own, and I know you're going to anyways because of your character, you're going to turn around and give them the advice they need, because it's coming straight from the heart. It's said with such pure love that if they mistake it any other way, then they're not listening.
I was presented with the Talisman card for you. And if you actually look on her arm, her shawl becomes a bit of a dragon. And the dragon's leading her towards the talisman that's floating in the air. And at her feet are the yin and yang sign and a rune symbol underneath her left foot. And a really clear message I'm getting right now is for you to follow the signs. That there are signs showing up in your life right now that are clear signs on what direction to take. And that it's really, really important that you pay attention to those signs and follow that direction.
All right. Next is Penelope. Hello, Penelope. So, Penelope,
Hello,
I
Penelope.
that Page of Pentacles. And as you notice, look, there's a dream catcher in the window. And what I like about this card, and I don't, oh yeah, if I pull it closer, look, the cat's sticking his tongue out at his food. And I'm thinking, if anyone really knew me, what they'd know about me is that if you say something to me I really don't like and you turn and walk away from me, I'll stick my tongue out at you because you can't see me do it. And I did this once to my boss because he said something and I thought, like this to him. Turned around and he said, I saw that. So from that point on, I had to be careful about waiting till he was out of sight. But Penelope, this is about some sort of medicine that your body's telling you you don't need it. The doctor's saying you need it. And they're saying, listen to your instincts. And also some money coming towards you a little bit. About $100, give or take.
And I was presented with the coming apart card for you. And a lot of times it represents major change in your life. And that's what I would say this one represents, being given this card right now, is that there's major change going on in your life. And you can choose that change. Remember, everything is free will. So you can choose to make that change and it will be quite beautiful and quite spectacular, or you can fight it. Either one. There's always free will.
Okay, so Penelope, I have the songs, I think it's Staying Alive in my head. And it's just playing on and on and on. So I have no idea. I just thought I'd share the tune with you. Okay, well, Lily, if you like her, you keep her. Hi, Christy. Christy, I pulled the 7 of, I'm thinking work, but there's 7 little mice on the shelf, and the cat is slowly pushing each mouse off, and it's more like a game. It's like having fun, and it's using colors to express yourself. And I noticed he threw off the orange, the gray, and the red first, and he's holding on to the other ones. So this could be a period where you're looking at letting things go around you. You could making some changes. Gain education. So you may be looking at more education for yourself. And they're saying, take your time. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do one at a time and leave the others over here and then come back to them as you need them.
And I was presented with the compass card for you. And a real clear message that this is a good time to find your true north and to follow your internal compass. Not somebody else's compass or somebody telling you where you should go or what you should do, but to actually follow your own internal compass.
Okay, so Sean, you missed the fact that I started laughing when you said that, but I've got to show why I was laughing because Brenda, I'm really sorry, but I pulled a card for you. Look, the cat's head's in the toilet. So I'm sorry. I don't know what to say about this, Brenda. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Are you hiding from something that you just don't want to face? Or is there something like a goldfish that you're flushing down the toilet? Or be careful of what you're flushing down the toilet. Or maybe you need a new toilet. I just don't know, Brenda. I'm sorry. I'll get it together.
And Brenda, I was presented for you the magic stream. And with it comes a message that water, being the most powerful thing on earth, takes the path of least resistance. And that's what I'm being told to tell you, is to take the path of least resistance.
Okay, and because Sean mentioned water, maybe you should check your toilet valves and make sure it's not leaking. Okay, I'll be good from now on. Okay, you're welcome, Tracy. Lily, you're welcome. Okay, she's asking, hello, Jen. So Jen's next.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I'm looking for something I like.
No, I'm trying to, there. My computer jumped.
Okay. Jen, I picked number 4, which is foundation. And I like the idea that the foundation is being mixed up a little to see, like, if we bring it a little closer, will it stand sturdier? If it's more in a line. And this is something, Jen, around you that you're going to make some changes around. But as you make the changes, don't be afraid to treat it like a jigsaw puzzle. Is it jigsaw puzzle I'm thinking of, or dominoes? But there's something here, like if you can shift and move it a little bit, that it becomes more solid, it becomes more concrete idea that you're going to go after. So they're saying to go for it, but you do have to make a little adjustment along the way.
When I was presented with the intention card for you and a real clear message about making sure that you are clear on what your intention is on this project that you're working on right now and what your intended outcome is. The clearer you are about it, the more precise it will be. Hello, Furball.
Moonlight, she wanted to get up and she's laying on my arm, so I thought, might as well show her off. Okay, Liam says, and
oh, Liam, just get over it and ask her, okay? Come on.
Oh, that was funny because I said marriage too, so we were both on there. Okay.
Just get over it and ask her.
Okay. Hi, Alana. All right, what does she say? The past few months, I have started hearing inner thought. Sounds like my own voice, for example. Today, my mom was talking to me about her friend's house I've never been to, and in my head, I kept hearing, ask her about the color yellow. I asked her if the color yellow means anything to her. She said the friend's son just painted the inside garage color yellow the other day. I just wonder if you hear any insight of what is going on. You're tapping into spirit?
Yeah, just tapping into that wave of information that's out there. Just let it come.
This. You know, like when the World War I and World War II, when the mothers would be standing at the door waiting for the telegram to come because they knew something was wrong. It's the same idea. It's just spirit letting you hear something that you need to be aware of. Okay. Sean, do you want to pull a card for first while I try to free up an arm?
You can just, I'll shut up, Sean. Okay.
Well, I know I can do the psychic stuff about a card. Okay, so Alana, I am seeing a music box, the one with the little girl doing the little circle, but it sounds like they're playing Edelweiss on it. It looks like one of the little old girls' box, like, you would have got as a child. And I am seeing it as though someone is either showing it to you, you're unearthing it somewhere, but I feel like you need to glue the ballerina back onto the box. And maybe the other portion of that is to dance. You're really heavy, cat. And it's to dance. Okay, Sean.
And I was presented with the making a choice card for you. And actually a pretty clear message that if you want these abilities to enhance and grow and continue, then you need to make a choice to accept them for what they are, rather than questioning them and arguing about them and with yourself and everything. Just accept that they're there and that this is happening, and they'll grow exponentially.
Great. So you're welcome, Cheyenne. Hi, Jeanette. How frozen is Texas?
Really frozen.
Okay. So let's have a look for Jeanette. Are you helping here? Want to tell her about it? Okay. Look, almost looks like the cat on the lap. This is your heart, Jeanette. And it feels as though this is like someone who really cares about you. They have your heart in interests. And they, yeah, weird. I think you're getting married too. As though some sort of marriage is being planned. So maybe not you, but maybe someone around you.
I was presented with the Ghostlands card for you, Jeanette.
Can I put you?
And there's a group of beings on the other side that are reaching out to you right now. And they're just telling me to let you know that they're there, and then there to support you and help you and nurture you, and just know that you are not alone.
Okay. Having looked at Sean's card, there's a message. Normally any messages that come between midnight and 3, especially in the morning, it's normally from spirit. And that card made me think you've got a message coming towards you, and it's between noon or 12 and 3. So just be open. Let's say you get woke up in the middle of the night, and no reason, but you just feel like there's someone there. Have a talk and see whether or not they have something they want to say to you. Sort of feels like a lady. So I'm going to say, and a man who died of a heart attack. That's what I'm feeling around you. Oh, who's Jim? Okay, I'll just stop there. Okay. Liam says, laugh out loud. If I tell you, it won't be a surprise. Okay, he's talking to Heather.
Yeah.
Margaret was Grandpa Provost's mom, and
Yep.
Alice was her mom. Then there's a Margaret, Lily, sitting in your house as well. It's not just Alice. You've got both grandmas. Okay. You're welcome, Margaret. Sean, when you said into the unknown, what does that mean? That's from Kathy.
Yes. What does it mean, into the unknown? It means that it feels like I'm being told that it's a new way of communicating with people, a new way of communicating with one person in particular. It actually feels like there's animosity between you and this person, and that you have the opportunity to explore a new territory, new territory in a way to communicate with this person, or to resolve this issue with this person, or to reach a spot where you both agree to disagree, and for all this energy and emotion and everything wrapped around this, to find a way to dissipate and be able to move on from this point.
Okay. So, who do we have next? Rachel is next.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Rachel, I know you live down by the water, and look at that. That's like, take some time for yourself. Sit back, relax. Have a little day where you're literally playing in the surf, in the sand, because this looks like it should be a very peaceful time for you, and that you should be really enjoying it.
And I was presented with the unexpected visitors card, and I was told that you should get a wine and cheese platter ready, because somebody that you're not expecting is going to show up, and it's going to be very delightful.
Okay, you're welcome, Christy. I'm glad it's the message you needed. Hi, Marion. And Marion. Oh, oh. I have the 2 of, no, that's a 6. 6 of Cups. And this is achieving all the desires and dreams that you are looking for, and that things are beginning to fall into place exactly the way they're meant to, and for you to be open to the changes that are about to happen. And there's always going to be plenty on your plate. Like, you're never ever going to have to go hungry in your life again.
And I was presented with the home card for you and a picture of Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, clicking her heels together and saying, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home." There's no place like home.
Hi, Phyllis. Phyllis, this makes me think of one, go out and have a little fun. That in the autumn of this coming year, there's going to be a few changes for you, and to be open to the changes. But because it feels like there are more changes of the heart too, not just materialistic changes, but changes that come because you want to make them. And they're saying that they are falling into place for you, just like the leaves that fall off the tree in the autumn. That there's going to be spectacular colors all around you, and to be open to the colors. And remember, each color means something. So if you have to Google it to find out what the color. So if you see a lot of red, that's passion and everything. But if you see a lot of yellow, that's just thought as a song, Yellow Mellow. But it could be about just learning to sit back and relax.
And I was presented with the Coming to Life card for you. And I'm being told that this is a great time for you to rejoice, to dance, to sing, to rejoice, and just take it all in, because this is a beautiful time.
Jen, I hope you're not making the same mistake I did when I decided to renovate a place. I should have picked one room, sealed it off, renovated it, then moved on to the next room instead of staying at one end of the house and working my way all the way through. It's going to be difficult, but you're going to get through that struggle. Oh, and Lee says, Heather agrees with you, Sean. Oh, wrong. Okay. Heather laughs. She needs to get a divorce first.
Yeah. Doesn't mean he didn't ask you.
Yeah. Penelope got herself a new rower, and she really is enjoying it. Huh. You're welcome, Brenda. Yes, she is rotten, the kitty. Below.
I don't know, Kathy, who it is. I can see a person, but I'm not sure.
Pardon me?
Kathy says, I don't have any idea who it could be, Sean. I let my past go. Any idea who it is?
No. Jeanette says that Texas is below freezing. I didn't think Texas got that cold.
Oh, it can.
Disaster.
Oh, wow. You guys have an emergency disaster going on. I have a commentary in the background here.
A natural disaster.
A natural, she said. Hello, you're welcome, Rachel. Jeanette, still waiting on that proposal. Definitely needing to, having a tough day. Oh my God.
Yeah. That sounds tough.
Jeanette, look after yourself. I hope you got a good contractor. And is that because of the freezing in Texas, probably? If you guys aren't used to it. Wow. Sean should tell you about the little disaster he had in his bathroom last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same thing. Pipe in the ceiling burst and the ceiling fell in, and I had to cut bigger holes in the ceiling to get in there to fix it. And then one pipe burst another pipe, which burst another pipe, which wound up in a whole new ceiling and a whole new shower and all the fun stuff that goes with it.
Yep. Okay, Amanda wants to know, can you tell me which spirit guides are around me? I sense people around me and I feel drawn to certain things. Yeah.
I'll leave that one with you.
I don't have an answer. Yeah, sorry, Amanda, I can't tell you which spirit guides. Okay, so we have someone new called Jen.
See that.
And if they come to me, I'll tell you, Amanda, but right now I'm sort of pulling a blank. Wow. Jen also says that her mom's in Texas and she has no electricity since yesterday. Wow. Okay, so Jen, I picked justice. Don't bite the hand that helps you. And it's also, to me, justice is about how you look at things and how you weigh them with all the pros and cons. It's like making a decision, but you've listed everything on both sides of the page. And the one that has the least likeliest outcome is the one that you don't choose. But then there are times when you've done that and you've weighed it, but you still go with the least likeliest outcome because you're not judging the situation, but what you see in black and white, but what you're feeling inside. And so I'm saying, really trust your instincts. We're all intuitive. It's whether or not we choose to listen to it.
Well, I was presented with the Peaks of Joy card for you. And yet at the same time, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you're at a point to challenge maybe and whatnot, but to just stand strong in your faith because the peaks of joy are coming.
Hello, Ilya. How's Calgary? Ilya, I picked the sun. To lie back and to bask in the sun with sunscreen, tons and tons of it. And just that feeling, maybe it's the vitamin D I'm getting here, that maybe you need some more vitamin D to help with the endorphins, to make that happy feeling go, not away, but inside, to bring it back to you. And so there may be a little need for you to bask in the sun. Also makes me think bask in the limelight, as though you're doing something or something's happening for you that, you know, people should be congratulating you, not just going, well, it should have happened to me. So I'm saying bask in it.
And I was presented with the strength card for you. And I'm being told that though it may at times feel like there's the weight of the world on you, as you can see, she's holding up a whole world in one hand. Fear not. There'll be no more placed on you than what you can handle. You're strong enough to take whatever comes your way at this point in time.
All right, Jen, you are welcome.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're a minute before the hour. So, Sean, do you have any wisdom you want to share with everyone?
Yes, I do, actually. A great piece of wisdom that I was given this week. The mind needs proof and the heart works in faith. Live in your hearts.
Okay, and mine, look before you cross the road. Okay. We want to thank everyone for coming on and watching the show with us. Really enjoy it. Tomorrow night at 6:30 Pacific time, Penelope and I will be on. So if you'd like to come on and have another card pulled for you, then please join us tomorrow night. All right. And may love, peace, joy, and happiness find you all in mysterious ways. Blessed be.
Phyllis said, did you see her question?
No, I didn't see a question, Phyllis. I
No,
saw
me
you
neither.
show up, but I didn't see a question. Just a minute. Phyllis. You did get a reading, Phyllis. Okay, if there was another question, Phyllis, I didn't see it. So quick, write it down. But I know we pulled a card for Phyllis, did we not?
Yes. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, so did I. But if there was another question, I didn't see it. All right.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody.
Yep. Have a great
And
night.
have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.
Oh, she wants to know what her spirit gifts are. Hey, Phyllis, I'll just IM you. Okay. Because it's going to take me a few minutes to figure it out. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Are we hungry?